Let's go across to our guest joining us. Nighat Abbas is from the BJP. Professor Naval Kishore is the RJD spokesperson joining us. Mahima Singh from the Congress party. Krishna Hegde is the Shiv Sena spokesperson. This is the Shinde faction. And of course, Tushar Gupta is senior editor Swarajya magazine, all joining us. I do thank you for your time. Mahima Singh, let me begin with you. While the opposition may have a point that caste oppression is a separate issue, caste representation is a separate issue, I take that point. But fundamentally, is it not also true that the caste census demand is a foundation for caste-based reservation? And that caste-based reservation, as the Prime Minister also said, could ultimately lead to divide India and have more downfall, have more problems than any benefits for the country at large.
Jai Hind. Shivani, I would have agreed with you if ignorance was a better way of being, but I believe that while we live in a democracy like ours, where caste is a reality, where we know that a BJP allies with smaller one caste community, single parties, you see they go to any extent to fragment the OBCs from the Dalits and align with these parties so that they can cling to the power. The BJP has a very confused stance, Shivani. Because you see, when it comes to the Bihar caste census, Mr. Sushil Modi, a BJP Rajya Sabha MP, comes out and says, well, it was BJP's idea. And you would have not forgotten that before 2019, it was the very party which is now opposing it, the BJP, standing up for the caste census. They made headlines. Mr. Sushil Modi made headlines in 2019 when they said that if we win this election, we'll be conducting a caste-based census. And here is our Prime Minister. You see, a G-Rohini commission was constituted, and the report has never come out. Rather, there are loopholes that have come out. Rather, there are breaches that we may be hearing of. And apart from that, their own parties, MPs, MLAs make casteist, regionalist slurs. So when the Prime Minister talks of casteism and regionalism and getting rid of it, we are reminded of Ramesh Bidhuri's remark on the floor of the House, which was a very religionistic, remark. Then we are reminded of Pragya Thakur's remark. We did not hear a word.
Mahima Singh, remarks are one thing. Of course, that cuts across all parties. I don't think the Congress can be escaping that. But that doesn't mean policy. Policy is different than what an individual remark is. Also, I may repeat my question. My question to you was this. The demand for a caste census, is it not ultimately a foundation being made for jitni abadi utna haq? What Rahul Gandhi said. And is that fundamentally not the problem here? We are not a democracy that functions on the basis of numbers alone.
I would reiterate what I said earlier, that, see, ignorance is bliss for parties like BJP, and we don't want to live in ignorance. When our leader Shri Rahul Gandhi asks for a caste census, when he raises questions of the participation of the OBCs in, high posts, he makes a relevant point. He compels all of us to think, pause and think, what are we doing? Do we have enough number of, inclusivity of all communities and castes across media, across judiciary, across bureaucracy, across various high segments of the society?
Fair enough, that's a worthy cause. But I asked you again, I repeat my question for the third time. Is the caste census the basis for caste-based reservations? Should the Congress party not clarify that?
Well, Shivani, I believe we are here fighting for a caste census, for counting how many, you see, for seeing who has how much share. Thereafter, we can make policies around it. I think it's too early. We are right now fighting an ideology which is against caste-based census, which has not brought out the data that of the socio-economic caste census that we conduct.
Well, UPA didn't either. You had opportunity for 10 years. In fact, the Congress governments in the past have opposed even mandal politics.
And we did a socio-economic caste census in 2011, the data of which was not, see, they are a double engine government. They boast all the time, they endorse all the time. So a double engine government, as the BJP could have well brought out the data that we collected.
I'm not asking you about the BJP. I'll ask about the BJP to the BJP spokesperson. I'm asking you to elaborate your standpoint. Do you not fundamentally believe that jitni abadi utna haq is going to destroy this country? That's the message the Prime Minister is sending. I'll come back to it. Let Nighat Abbas respond to this. Nighat Abbas, Fundamentally, there are obviously BJP leaders, both in states and otherwise, who have made these demands in the past. You cannot also make it in some states and then oppose it nationally, is the fundamental point the Congress is raising. Why doesn't the BJP also clarify its stance on the caste census? You're also not touching it because it's a hot potato for you.
You know, Shivani, we need to make the difference out right now that what the government before 2014 were doing and what Modi government post 2014 has done. You know, we all know that how before 2014, when UPA was in power, they were completely using the toolkit of governance based on the casteism, appeasement, family politics and corruption. However, post 2014, when Modi ji has come in power and he became the Prime Minister, the political shift we all have seen is completely on nation building, not on family politics. It is doing what it is supposed to do, bringing reforms in the country, making India the world's one of the best economy, India achieving in the record, you know, India is registering its name, we are making a name worldwide. That is a completely shifted and a changed outlook we all have seen. What we oppose is that people, a lot of opposition party leaders are promoting treachery over patriotism, and which is why we see opposition leaders, senior leaders at that, even Rahul Gandhi, promoting Bharat Tere Tukde Honge, a slogan like Brahmans Bharat Chodo. That is what we oppose. Even Rahul Gandhi, when goes to abroad, you know, promoting and defaming Hindutva, calling it ISIS and Boko Haram. Also Priyank Kharge, and we saw how Stalin had defamed Hindutva.
No, are you saying asking Nighat, are you saying asking for a caste census is treachery? Is that what you're saying?
See, all I am saying is that people who are promoting treachery, like these people are doing on the basis of caste, when you say you need a caste census, you need to look at the larger point that you cannot go and abuse Hindutva and promote like Priyank Kharge did, Udayanidhi Stalin.
No, why are you mixing this
Hindutva and comparing it with diseases like dengue?
That's a separate issue, Nighat. Why are you comparing that to? Let's stick to the subject. Let's talk about caste census.
Shivani,
what is the BJP stance on that?
Subject, which is why I am saying Hindu. See, my friend, Shivani, it is completely relatable to each other. When they talk about caste count, when they talk about head count, and when they talk about this, that jitni hissedari utni bhagedari, is it not important to talk about Hindutva? Is it not important to talk about every caste? All I am saying is, you should not be having dual face. My friend just talked, my colleague from Congress party has just spoken about dual face. I think Rahul Gandhi and Congress party has a dual face, and which is why you keep talking about Hindutva, against Hindutva and abusing Hindutva. All I am saying is, yes, we do need a caste census. It is important. I do understand it is supposed to be there for the head count. But why is that you're doing building a politics over that? Is it the basis of that? Isn't the basis of the government should be bringing reforms to the politics, bringing the policies which can help the poor, the servant?
No, but the opposition's argument is that this will help.
Even that is important.
No, absolutely. But the opposition's argument is that having this data will ultimately help in targeting those who really need those reforms, or you could cater those reforms in a better way.
Shivani,
reservation is one aspect, but catering schemes and policies better is another aspect.
It is easy said than done for the opposition. We've seen how they have ignored it since so many years. When they did it in 2011, why did they not publicize it?
Because they went out of power.
On board and literally told the people what it is all about. Post 2011 they didn't. They could have done in 2013, they could have done in 2012, they could have done it in different states, but they didn't. They chose to
they are offering this in various states now, so we'll have to hold the Congress. No, we'll have to hold Congress, of course, true to its promise. They are offering this in many states now. Whether they actually do it or not is a separate issue.